Hi, Steve Brown here. It's Tuesday, so we have our Tuesday topics. And I have Andrea Barnes here with Leader One, and we've used Andrea for a long time. We trust her totally. And she's here to talk about some topics with us. And we want to talk about why is now a good time to buy. And she's going to help discuss some things here to tell you why it's a good time to buy. And also, it's something that plays into sellers too, because if it's a good time to buy, that means it's a good time to sell. So it all works together. So Andrea, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good, thanks, Steve. Thank you.
Good. Let's start with your topics here. Let's just start. Why is now a good time to buy?
Well, and a lot of people ask, timing of the market and all that good stuff. But what I find is nobody can predict what's going to happen with rates, but there's different indications that do happen. The most recent is the Fed's raising the inflation rate, and they just did that last month. And they're predicting they're going to do more throughout 2016. What that does, it's going to affect the interest rates. So those are going to go up. We know that they're coming. We just don't know when and to what extent and how quickly, but it is trending to go up.
Okay. When you talk about rising rates, you talk about further expected improvements in the economy are causing rates to rise, although affordability is still historically great. So even though we got rising rates, you're saying it's still great.
It is. This is still a great time. We're at the low end of the curve. So what I'm finding is rates are still down. They're still very good. I mean, you're still in the fours. Which is still great. And then, home prices are just starting to recover from, the crash that we had. So this is a great time to buy. Absolutely.
Home prices, you say here, rose in October of last year. Last year, it's 2016 already. Crazy. At a slightly higher pace than in September. You're talking about limited supply and strong demand continues to support price increases in the market. So limited supply, I see that. I see that a lot. There's not enough sellers out there. There's a lot of buyers. So when there's not a lot of sellers and there's more buyers, how you talk about rising home prices? How good is that for sellers?
Supply and demand. And for a seller, it's definitely a seller's market, is what we're seeing.
I agree.
Because there is more buyers than sellers, so it's your supply and demand, which is going to force the prices to go up. Along with the interest rates, it's definitely going to have a trending effect where you're going to be able to afford less home for the same monthly payment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As speaking of that, up above here, you got a graph. How much can you finance with? And you got a number, $960 a month. And you got some different situations here. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So a lot of times people say I need to keep my payment at a certain number. So let's just use $960 a month, and that's just principal and interest. So taxes and insurance would be separate from that.
Okay.
But just a great 30-year example is at $960 at 4%, you're looking at roughly a $200,000 home. If the rates rose to 5%, now you're looking at only a $180,000 house.
Oh, wow.
Let's take it a little step further. If it goes to 6%, that same $960, you're going to afford a $160,000 house.
I see.
So definitely, as people say, I want to save up more down payment, or I want to wait until for sellers, I want to wait until my house is worth more. You're kind of not catching the train, because as rates rise and then home values rise, as you can see, you're going to afford less home.
So now is a good time to buy, so now is a good time to list too. Wait until the spring.
Does both ends.
It's as far as it says unemployment low, can you explain what that is?
So basically, the economy's doing well, and that's why the Feds did decide to raise after 9 years of keeping it where it was, because the economy is definitely is getting stronger. What that means, there's more jobs out there, which means unemployment is lower. And everything is based on unemployment and the strength of the economy and how rates trend, basically. So being that, we're definitely at a low point on that, that also plays into the rising of the rates.
That's
and
good,
the values.
Unemployment. So things are, you got, like you said, gas prices have been really low, down in the $1.50s around here in Blue Springs. So, that's great. You got another sheet here. It says best opportunities are rarely obvious. So can you explain what you mean by that?
So again, nobody's going to tell you, okay, the time to buy is right now. But, I mean, people ask, when do I enter in the market? I mean, again, it's really hard to predict, but you can just look at different signals. Again, rates are still low, home prices are still affordable and at a good, they've not escalated to a point where it's hard to, get into the market. So, it's not too late. We're still at a low point of the curve. I mean, this is the best time. First and second quarter this year, you're gonna see a lot of people entering into the market trying to buy or sell.
Our
Trying to catch it.
January is going to be very good. There's people here at Remax Heritage that their Januaries are good too. So there's a lot of people after Christmas. A lot of people were ready to get out there and start doing stuff.
Yep.
So definitely, it's a good sign. It feels like 2016 is going to be a good year, and so I'm looking for that. But so it's a good time to buy, and it's definitely a good time to get your house on the market.
Yep.
So waiting till spring versus listing in January or February. Do you see a difference there?
It could be. Again, the rates are wanting to push to a higher level. I mean, they're predicting again, this is a prediction, a full point by fourth quarter.
Okay.
So you're talking minimally a full point. So again, first quarter, second quarter, that's, things go in the market. I mean, it is a hot time to buy and sell, but especially with everything else trending, I would say now is the time than waiting another year. And you'll see a totally different amount of home that you can purchase for.
And days on market is still really low. Right? How many we track that? It's still 30 days or less.
Yep. Homes are moving.
In most places. So,
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming by and
You're
talk to us.
welcome. Thanks,
Like I
Steve.
said, Andrea, we've recommended her to people for about 4 or 5 years now. We've been very happy with the job she does. We really appreciate her coming by and doing this for us. And we hope that you have a great day. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.